Hey VC. It's Rodger with a haircut, back again after a few weeks. Hope you're all doing well out there. Cheers. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. And I got some VCLT in the mail. And oh, it's not supposed to be there. Alright, I meant to come on and thank you, DJ Trish, for this really surprise VCLT. Everybody knows Trish, and you know, I periodically get her mixed CDs. This is an excellent one, by the way, down in the Soul Cellar. I think she watches my videos and so knows that I'm like on a soul kick, and there's some great stuff on here. You know, sadly, my new car does not have a CD player. It's kind of irritating, you know. Instead, it has this like touchscreen thing, and like I feel compelled to pay for Sirius XM because I don't know. But I listen to the Soul Station on what's it called, the Soul Cellar? No, is it the Soul Cellar? What is it anyway? I listen to the Soul Station on Sirius XM in my car. Anyway, so thank you for this. This is fantastic. My wife loves these as well. And a nice note from Trish. But this was a big package. I was like, what? Wow. So she sent me a couple of issues of Billboard, which are kind of a hoot to look through. I mean, you know, I don't know hardly any of this music. But pretty cool to you know, to look through. Very fun. Thank you. And so she sent me actual vinyl records. This is unprecedented. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But thank you, Trish. This is a nice little stack of vinyl. Thank you so much. You know, I'm blown away. First, we have a record I already have. But that's okay. This is the first Klaatu record. Does it have a title, or is it just self-titled? I think it's just self-titled. Looks like a U.S. pressing on Capitol. Yeah, I have a copy of this. It's a great record. It's from it's a red label or orange label. Capitol, 1976. You know, the story is when this record came out, and I think this first track, "Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft," was like played on the radio, and like people thought it was the Beatles, you know. And so 76, they thought it was like the Beatles had reformed, and I think, I don't know, the band wasn't into that, but like their manager was like, okay, well, we'll let people think that, you know, for a while. It sells records. And listening to it, you can go, well, yeah, it's not the Beatles, but it's a really, really good like progressive pop rock record. And their second record's really good too. Their third record, not so great. I think they're Canadian. I found out about this band through the VC. And this is a really good record. What I'm going to do is clean this up and get it to my nephew, who's a big Beatles fan, you know, he isn't. And I think he'll dig that. So this is really cool. Love Unlimited. Under the Influence of Love Unlimited. This is, of course, Barry White. And it has Love's Theme. Oh yeah, baby, this is awesome. I haven't listened to this yet, but I'm totally gonna dig this very much. It seems to be in really nice shape too. You know, I've been on the soul kick, and like, you know, they're common records for the most part, but often just torn up because people play them to death. You know, and this is cool. Nerds, the Roaches. I had girlfriends who had Roaches records. And didn't Robert Fripp produce their first record or something? This is a later one, 1980. Yeah, cool, excellent. And then these are really neat. Folkways records. We have American Game and Activity Songs for Children, sung by Pete Seeger. Original Folkways with the glued-on cover. And then we have Rhythm and Game Songs for the Little Ones, #2 by Ella Jenkins. Really neat. You know, part of me wants to keep these for myself, but since they're children's records, and my nephew, again, he just had a little baby, I might clean these up and give them to him. But thank you very much, Trish. I really, really appreciate it. I'm really kind of blown away, to be honest. So, cheers to you, Trish. I am going to, for sure, I have some stuff set aside for you by Christmas. I promise I'm going to send you something. Okay. Thank you, Trish. Thank you. Kind of looks like Coca-Cola, doesn't it? It's a nut brown ale from Blackstone Brewery here in Nashville. A little warm today for that kind of beer, but beer is beer, right? I apologize I have not been responding to comments lately. I got the most dislikes in a while in my last video. Not that I care. And I think it was my comment about me not caring, you know? Now let me explain. Like, I mean, I do care. I do care about the people who watch and comment, and I care about the friends I've made through the VC. What I don't care about anymore is how many subscribers I have, whether I get likes or I get dislikes, or if the cool kids like me, or if, you know, that I ain't got time for that anymore. You know, there's that Dylan song, you know, I used to care, but things have changed, you know. Anyway, no offense to anyone, you know, that's just, alright, whatever. So, here I am, making a video. Went to a record show today, nice one in Nashville, probably the last one until spring. So, you know, I took advantage of, it was a little bit last minute. It wasn't quite as, you know, some of the vendors that were there in the spring weren't there this time. It seemed to be, you know, a little more last minute. But I don't know. I still, of course, found some great things, like Cybertron single, Ride to Infinity, backed with Xmas Hills, which is a live track, 78. It's an Australian single on Cleopatra. Yeah, pretty cool. Buck Buchanan, hey Buck, if you're watching, it's great to see you. You had amazing records, many of which I purchased from you, and I'm going to show. Yeah, I got this from Buck. Yeah, cool stuff. Got this from another local guy I know, Tom. Carlessa single. Point of Stillness, back to Judgment Day. I meant to look up when this is from. This is early on from their as I recall. It's on a gray marbled vinyl. Carlessa. I dig these guys. They're you know, I think the female element, you know, they can be kind of aggro, kind of real, not hardcore, but, you know, they're a metal band, and but you know, the chick singer, chick guitar player, they can really play. Levin's the like sausage fest that metal can be. So yeah, I really dig them a lot. All right, so got a nice stack at the record show. Let's just start with some jazz. There's one dude that was there. I forget his name, Chris, maybe. Anyway, he had some really interesting records. Here's Eric Dolphy's Iron Man on Douglas. This is not the original pressing. It appears to be like a 70s era. Anyway, a posthumous Eric Dolphy record. With Prince Lasha on flute, Clifford Jordan on soprano sax, Woody Shaw on trumpet, Richard Davis on bass, Bobby Hutcherson on vibes, Eddie Kahn on bass, J.C. Moses bass. Not totally sure on the story of this. I've had it on CD forever. It's great stuff, you know. Eric Dolphy, you know, one of the greats, the all-time greats. This is a VC fave, I believe. I believe I've seen folks show this record. Richard Davis of Harvest. Muse from 1979. I believe this is a white label promo. Yeah, white label promo. Yeah, the jacket's not in great shape, but the vinyl appears to be in really nice shape. Yeah, I mean, look at that lineup. Ted Dunbar, Bill Lee, Consuelo Moore, Freddie Waits, Billy Hart, Marvin Hamill Peterson, James Spaulding. Yeah. You know that's going to be good. Alright, and this, you know, aside from this, put his, like, dress label all over it, but I might be able to get it off because it's a glossy cover. This was too nice to leave behind. Heavy Sounds, Elton Jones, and Richard Davis. On Impulse, I'm not sure when this is from, like 63 maybe, something like that. Billy Green on piano, and Frank Foster on tenor sax. Yeah. Nice. On the Corner. Now, I used to have this record when I was a kid. It scared the shit out of me when I was like 13. But then, you know, CDs came along and I got rid of it. What a dummy. And so, you know, now of course this is hard to find, and this is a very first pressing. Not that they did a lot of pressings of this one. You know, 1A, 2A pressing, first pressing. Yeah, the spine is very light damaged, you know, but the rest of it's in nice shape. Vinyl looks in really nice shape. Yeah, this is one of the most whack Miles records ever. I mean, it's like that cover, and yeah, awesome, love it. This was kind of a deal, you know. Another guy I kind of know, another local record collector dude. This was kind of later on. I was surprised it was still there. You know, and it had a little check condition thing on it, and yeah, it's got some marks on it, but yeah, I've seen way worse, and so for what he wanted for it, I was like, you know what, how can I leave this behind? Original UK pressing of Gong's Camembert Electrique. Camembert Electrique. Yeah, classic Gong. I think this is maybe their second record after the BYG stuff. 1971. Yeah, I mean, come on. Here's some more UK stuff, although this is a US pressing of Caravans, third record in the land of the grey and pink, classic cover, classic Canterbury scene record. Yeah, I almost couldn't believe it was there for that good a price. Here's a neat record, White Noise, An Electric Storm, the White Noise. So this is David Vorhaus and Delia Derbyshire, Brian Hodgson, percussionist Paul Lighton. This is on Antilles, so a US pressing, not an original. I think the original UK version from, I think, when is this, like late 60s maybe, early 70s, late 60s. Not really sure. This is a 70s era Antilles pressing for a decent price. Pretty excited about that. I'm also excited about this. I love record shows. I mean, it's like you can cram like months of digging around record stores into like a couple hours, you know? So here's a nice one. The Incredible Stringbean. I think of Kevin, Dr. Strangely Strange. I know he's a fan of the Incredible Stringbean, and trying to get all their records, and it's hard. Anyway, this is original US pressing on Autechre. Not an original, actually. It's not. It's you know, Butterfly labeled, but whatever. It's in nice shape. And what's the title of this? The 5,000 Spirits, or The Layers of the Onion. I love this stuff so much. I'm just, yeah, love it. From one extreme to another, here we have Public Image's, is it their first record? Flowers of Romance? US pressing on, what is it, Warner Brothers? This and second edition are essential. Other than that, I'm not so sure. Psyched to have that. Had it on CD forever. Been looking for this for a while. Japan's first album. Obscure Alternatives. Very different sounding album than how they would wind up being more kind of synth pop band. This is a little more edgy, new wavy. I don't know. Anyway, original UK pressing on Fame. Yeah, psyched about that. All right. Oh, back to some Buck Buchanan records. I was like, dude, why are you selling all these Darude Column records? And to tell you the truth, I remember when Darude Column were around. I kind of wish I'd bought those records. It wasn't really totally my thing back in the '80s. I've been on kind of an '80s kick, like reevaluating music from the '80s, and it's been really interesting. I'm about to turn 54 years old, so I was like in, graduating high school and in college and stuff in the '80s. So I have vivid memories of it. So anyway, Buck had a bunch of Darude Column records. Imports. Not even sure what this is. It's got the die cut thing. It's from 1982. I think of Roger Simonson in Lincoln, Nebraska. Is that where you're at? I know you're into these guys and have lots of originals. You've been posting them on the Facebook page, and I've been thinking, and I know there's a bunch of reissues around that people are also posting. And anyway, I figure if I don't like it, I can flip it. All right, so there's this. This is an album. These are some EPs. De Triangle, 2 triangles. So it's like a 3-track EP, including a piece called "Piece for Out of Tune Grand Piano." And this is Without Mercy. This has this interesting, like, glued on, stuff here. So yeah, another EP, I believe, right? Not sure. All right. So yeah, Darude Column. I haven't listened to any of these. I just bought them. All right, more '80s music. So Ultrabox is another band that like I was kind of into at the time, but then like it started to sound really like almost immediately dated to my ears, And so I got rid of all that stuff, and then I watched this. Part of it is I watched this BBC documentary called Synth Britannia. It's on YouTube. It's excellent. Really made me reevaluate all that stuff. So Ultrabox. John Fox then went on to make a bunch of electronic, like avant pop records. So this is In Mysterious Ways on Virgin, 1985. And oh Lord, what a horrible cover. And this is what is it called? The Golden Section. From 1983. Yeah. So, here's another thing I got from Buck, and I thought of Sonic Mainliner, who got the recent reissues, and I'm gonna check this out. And if I like this, I'm gonna probably pursue those. But this is like 90s electronic music. Autechre. This is some sort of EP. It's a promo copy. Again, I don't know. Buck gave me a good deal on these records, so I'm not complaining. And if I don't like it, I'll flip it. Whatever. So here's another '80s record. Gary Numan, Dance, from 1981 on Atco, U.S. pressing. Moog just gave him a big award last year. So I found a couple other Gary Numan records that they're excellent. They're excellent synth pop music. Terrible cover. All right, finally a modern thing. This is Boris from 2004. It's called Boris at Last, Feedbacker. 2009 reissue. That's this giant poster of this lovely image. Boris, I'm a fan. I buy the records when I see them. So. Cool beans. Alright. Lordy people, that I lament I'll ever catch up showing you all the records I've accumulated. I'm so far behind. that's part of the reason why and like the more time goes by, the more it's like, oh, how do I tackle them? Which is why, oh, hey, I just went to a record show. I have all these records. They're not even in sleeves, so they'll look nice on camera. I thought, well, okay, come on. And also, I had the wonderful VCLT from Trish. I wanted to come on camera and thank her for that. So thank you, Trish. Really appreciate that. I gotta say, all right, you're still watching. I'm just gonna say this, okay? And like, I was sucked in too, right? Okay, but everybody got real excited when it looked like Secco Funk was back. Like all of a sudden, there's a video from Secco Funk. Van, like. So yeah, I immediately watched it, but within a few minutes, I'm like, no, this is not a new video. This is something he found on his camera and like uploaded. And of course, I watched it. It was great, but it kind of made me sad. And then of course, the next day, like several more like clearly old videos, showed up, and everybody's like commenting, and he's not even responding to comments, and whatever. I love the guy, but it's kind of like it was so kind of indicative of how the VC kind of bums me out these days. Like, and I'm not the only one, right? I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, hey, people, Chris Cole's back," but. So I don't know, people. I'm gonna keep doing it as long as it's fun, and I hope everyone out there will do the same, do their thing, and yeah, it's a wiggly world. Music's one of the only constants that I personally know of. So, in the background, you're listening to the shared system. You might notice. Some new blinking lights back there. Yeah, I got some more modules, including Tempe, the 6-channel clock. That's amazing. It's really easy to use on one level, but so freaking deep. Like, you can do so much stuff with it. All right, you're not here for that. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.